Hello everyone. Today's session I will discuss about Spring framework. I will tell you something about Spring framework and the concept of IOC dependency injection, how to do it in Spring framework, and earlier how it was done. And also I will explain you aspect oriented programming and so with some small sample example both of them. You know, this Spring framework came into existence or they will release their first version in 2003 and now it is 2025. I started using Spring Framework in 2006. Very minimal use of Spring Framework in 2006, and then I continuously started using it from 2007 onwards. Started using IOC, AOP feature, and then slowly went deep into using some other features like Spring Batch, Spring Hibernate, Spring Ibatis, Spring, JDBC template, Spring schedulers, Spring messaging, Spring authentication, Spring REST API, Spring soft-based web services. So Spring is providing lots of module which can be integrated to your specific project or application. Now, what is called boilerplate code? The boilerplate code is basically code which is written many times in different places. Like before Spring came into existence, what people used to do, they used to have a utility class or a helper class where they will write this repetitive code and will invoke this code wherever it is required. So when Spring Framework is came into picture, this configuration for code or this kind of this boilerplate code have been removed to configuration file and to some utility classes. So Spring Framework takes or Spring Framework, removed lots of boilerplate code from your uh, code base. Just by configuring it, we can do it. Using Spring Framework, you know, using Spring Framework, what you can do again? Using Spring Framework, you can change the values during runtime without compiling your code. It will work. You can also, change the references, different implementation of different classes during runtime. It will work, right, without having any issue, without need of compilation, right? Yeah, the new class which you are adding it for that you need to compile or the new functionality which you are adding to your code base, you can compile it. Or let's say you are already have existing implementation inside the jar, but you are not using, you want to use that, you just need to configure it in the Excel file and do it. See, Spring provides your XML type as well as annotation type. Today's session or in this session, I will explain about XML type, and in coming session, I will explain the same thing with annotation, how it works with annotation, that Spring AOP and Spring IOC. So here I have taken a small example. I will just tell you how that small example works. See, I'm just still trying to tell you what is IOC, what is dependency injection. That is the first concept which I will show. And then after telling this principle of IOC and dependency injection region pattern, then I will talk about something else. So you have a class here, ASA. Let's say you have another class here. Let's say B. You have another class here. Let's say C. You have another class here. Let's say D. Right? This is, let's say, one class called AB. This is another class called, not class, interface, which will be implemented by all of them. right? So this AB class, this AB class has dependency or having a dependency of A, B, C, D. This has dependencies of A, B, C, D. Now, how your code will look without framework, right? Without your Spring framework, how your code will look. I'm going to just write the code snippet here. I A IA equal to A IA equal to new and B equal to new. This is how your code will look if you have dependencies, right? I C equal to new. Right? The Spring framework is almost now how many years? 21 years, right? 21 years. It's got released in 2003 and now it is 2025. To the 22 years, almost 21, 22 years, this framework got released. And they have lots of upgradation in terms of performance, efficiency, and many other aspects. See, this is how your code will look, right? Let's say tomorrow you want to have another implementation of A class, another A version. Then what you will do in this particular situation? You will go to this line number particularly, right? New A, and what you will do, you will write again it new A dot version 1. That class will write, right? You will have a 0 version class, then you will have a 1 version class, right? But if you are using or B, in case of B also the same thing happen. In case of C, you will saw something happen. In case of D, also same thing happens, right? If you are using, if you are using what? If you are using Spring, you just can inject through what you can inject through, or you can you can inject these dependencies through Spring XML, or you can pass the dependencies through Spring XML configuration, and you will not require to change this particular line where it is saying new way. You will not require to change that line. That line will be same as it is. Only your configuration will change. That will refer to the new version of the object. Right? That will refer to the new version of the object. This is what your dependency injection. You will inject the dependencies without actually writing in the code which is called new A. You don't got to write new A, but the code will be injected through the using the principle of IOC and using the design pattern called dependency injection. I will show you how it happens, how it works. See, when the Spring framework is not there, that time this dependency injection was not done for all classes. That time this dependency injection was done only for the a few classes which are required. And these classes will be configured in properties file or normal XML file and will be read by the program using same file input system file input system, IO using the IO API of Java. And after reading this file, you will get the fully qualified name of the class, and the fully qualified name of the class will be passed to class.phone name, and then the object will be get created. Right? This was a this was a little bit if you write a lot of code for creating a class, right? And if you want to make it configurable, you have to also take care of all the aspect of the implementation. But if you are using Spring framework, you need not require to do this. So what happened on further going, from slowly, like maybe from 2005, 6, 7 onwards, when people started using this framework, they got adapted to the you know to the programming style where you have configuration, and you have lots of configuration and less writing less piece of code in case of product development or application development, right? Using Java programming language. So coming back to this Eclipse, while configuring, in coming back to the Eclipse, while creating this Maven project, you need to take care of all the dependencies I am using the Spring dependency 6.2.5. You need to take care of all dependencies while you are using this. Right? So take care of all dependencies, implement, use it, and go ahead. Right? So while taking care of dependencies, how you can do it? You just do add the dependencies and do right click run as. It will show you build is successful. So all compile time dependencies or all build time dependencies are done. Now while you are running, this application might fail. That time also you will find some exception like class not found exception. So when you find class not found exception, that time also you need to see runtime dependencies, right? If some runtime dependencies is missing, add that to your Spring dependency framework. Sorry, Spring dependencies to your Maven, and it will while running it will no more throw any error. Yeah, this is the screen which you see here. I was actually searching for, the dependencies. I copied it from here, one of the dependencies, Spring AOP dependency before Spring AOP implementation. See, I don't have any PPT because in technology you will find lots of PPT, lots of information over the internet. So I don't prepare any PPT for technology because I am not a trainer. I the trainers those are regularly training students or regularly those are regular trainer or kind of trainers those who train any programming language or any kind of technology. They will have PPT in front of them. They will have PPT with them. They will go with the PPTs. I don't have PPTs. I come with some points in mind and I talk that. And sometime I open Google and I read it from there and I explain it. So I will do today also same from the Google. I will open the IOC and dependency injection to tell you what is IOC, what is dependency injection. Okay, so let's go to this gigs for gigs and watch it here. See, there are so many building also. Let me open this guy also. I will show you all of them. They explain everything. They explain the same thing. The way of explaining it might be different, right? The way they explain it might be different. See, here it is saying inversion of control is a programming principle that inverts the flow of control in an application. In traditional procedure programming, the code that controls the execution of the program, the main function, instantiate objects, calls method, and even asks the user for input, so the execution can continue and the program can achieve its task. With IOC, it is a framework that does the instantiation. It is a framework that does that instantiation, method call, and triggers user action, having full control of the flow and removing this responsibility from the main function by configuring the application. See, this is what called IOC. What it is trying to tell you, in any application you go in Java application, any Java application you look into, the particular Java application, what it will have, you have main method. It is a standard application, and that main method will have object creation. You create object using new operator, and what happens? You using that object, you call the method. You give a method call from which is there in the next class. Now, what IOC says basically this new object creation or method call using the object is removed from the main method. It is going to be created by a framework. In case of Spring framework will create object for you and it will help you that object. It will help you to invoke the method of another class using the object which created by the Spring framework. It has something called application context factory. Your whatever the object Spring framework will create, it will store all of them in application context factory. And using application context, you can always fetch your object from application context factory and use them, right? So I will explain what is application context factory and what is bin factory. maybe at the end of this session or maybe in coming session. Before that, I want to show what is dependency injection, how principle of inversion of control works with Spring Framework, right? And now, what is dependency injection here? As I said in this diagram, right? As I said in this diagram, this AB has the dependencies of A, B, C, D, E, F, C, whatever dependencies it has, right? You are creating what you are doing, you are creating that dependency inside the class AB. But what you will do, you will not create that dependencies, you will just create the variable, you will just declare the variable and leave it. This framework will inject the dependencies. It will inject the references to this class during bin creation. Whenever you create an object of AB, that time it will inject the dependencies of this to the particular class. Coming back to the class now, I will show you how it happens. Coming to the, this Eclipse. See, this is not Eclipse actually. This is Spring Tool Suite. You can always use Eclipse or you can use Spring Tool Suite. For this session, I will use Spring Tool Suite. For another session also, I will use Spring Tool Suite. The best, the Spring tool suite is actually what they have done. The Spring people, they have created a wrapper on top of Eclipse and they made Spring tool suite. It is similar, same. It will have all the same feature and functionality of Eclipse along with that added features of Spring framework. So here, let's go further. I've given that example, and accordingly, I will show you. I have just given an example with A, B, C, D. Now you come to this application context XML. This application context XML is actually the Spring XML. In Spring XML, or the Spring XMLs are named, by in general, people name it as beans.xml or application context.xml. So for me, I always name it as application context.xml. So we the Spring XML always the start tag of the Spring XML is beans and it start with beans and it end with beans, right? You start with beans and end with beans. In between that, you will have some bin, this bin, and if you have some other configuration like here, I have configuration for AOP. So this configuration you will have, right? So bin, and Spring AOP configuration. Whatever the configuration you need to have, right? You can have it in this. See what actually this one bin tag, I will explain you. This bin tag what actually holds. This is the tag which is responsible for creating uh, your object. This is the tag which is responsible for creating the object. See, there are two ways to write. You can write in this way. This is what in line number 18 and 19. Bean, then you put all the attributes what you want to put at the end the bean. Or you can have this also. The line number 16 what I have. Pin ID current account. See, this is the variable name. Current account is the variable name, and here it is the fully qualified name of the class com dot spring dot example dot view dot current account. What actually happens is when you pass this fully qualified name of the class, Spring Framework will be able to create an object for this class. And after creating that object of this class, it will be assigned to the ID that is current account. This current account in your factory, application context factory, it will be like a key value pair. So current account will be the key and object will be the value. Object reference will be the value. So see here for saving account also, I have one here, the same, right? I have one here. Don't look into this pop now. Let me delete this. I'll explain once I explain the IOC. So if you see saving account, it also has same way of declare your implementation. Now account service. In account service, you see com dot service exist service. This is also the fully qualified name of the account service class. And what happens here? Here you have property name. Two attribute we have inside the bin tag. That is property name current account, property name saving account. These are actually the dependencies. This name is same as the variable name inside the account service class. And current account is basically the reference. This one, this ID, this is the reference of that. So what it will do during when it will create account service object, it will pass this current account reference to account service. And in account service, you will have one variable which is named as current account. In that, this reference or this object of current account will be stored. That means you are injecting these dependencies, account service as dependency of current and saving account. So you are injecting these dependencies during runtime. If you see the line number 23, 24, it is actually injecting the dependencies during runtime. And one more thing, see, you have lots of modules available in Spring. So here I am using another module called Spring AOP. Spring IOC and dependency injection are the core part of the Spring framework. So you do not require to worry about that. But when you are adding any other modules like Spring Hibernate template or Spring DAO or AOP, so you need to add the schema for this. That is, see here I have added at the line number 11, 10 and 11. If you see, I have added the schema, AOP schema, right? Spring framework.org schema AOP and spring.aop XSD is added. Along with that, the XMLNS for AOP was also added in the line number 4. If you see in line number 4, the XMLNS for AOP is also added in line number 4. So similarly, if you want to add all other modules, you can add. If you are continuously sequentially seeing my previous videos, if you are every day watching, so you might have come through one of the session called XSD and XML. So what is XSD? XSD is basically XML schema definition, and XML is the a part of that XSD. You can say whatever attributes or value you are going to have it in the XML, you can always validate it against the XSD. XSD is kind of schema definition. It is going to tell you how your XML structure will be, what all attribute, what all elements your XML is going to hold. Right. So here, this is the win thing. Now let me go to the the business situation or scenario. What I'm going to show you. See, the simple program what I have done here. I have an account service, and that account service is going to, you know, save this. This account service has some operation. Your like withdrawal, transfer, deposit, check balance. So this account service will perform this operation, right? And the object will get injected to this particular account service during runtime, right? So I will show you that now. For that, what I have one account service classes. That account service classes is basically, the account service classes is basically having methods called transfer, check balance, withdrawal, deposit. This is what I have shown you, right? These are the methods. And one more thing, I will create a new class and I will show you how you are going to do dependency injection in Spring uh, framework, right? First, I will run this class. See, here what I have taken, I have taken current account and saving account two variables, which are actually not required to show you. I have taken it. And what I am doing, I have a get account, and this get account I am having just printing system.out.println current account and system.out.println saving account. If you see line number 13 and 14, right? I'm just giving SOP, nothing more. Coming down, for to set your variable, right? To set your variable, you need to always have the setter and getter in case of XML type. You need to have setter and getter. You cannot annotating it. That time when I was using, we need to have a setter and getter so that what will happen when you set this property there, it will set it here using this getter and setter. See, if you see this current account, this is the variable name, and if I go to this Spring uh, application context.xml, if you see account service, the dependency current account name, it matches with the variable name. If I change this variable name, it will fail. I will show you that also by failing it. Let me go and run it, and you just see how it works. And before going to that, I just want to show you the account, the current account and saving account class. This is what current account class and saving account class. See, in saving account class, it extends account and it has a just single uh, constant you can say, which is holding the name saving account. Account is saving account, right? For current account is also same thing, right? These are the implementation of current account and saving account. Don't worry, I will push this code to the Git today itself you can go and check. You can download and you can check it always, right? And what is account class? See, account class is basically the super class of current and saving account. What it holds account number and branch code, right? So this variable will be getting inherited by current account and saving account, and we will use these variables during our programming. See, first of all, to use the beans which we have defined in Spring Application Context XML, we need to initialize or we need to load that application context XML. For loading that application context XML, you can always use class path XML context. If you are using class path XML context, then the application context XML file should be available inside the class path. If you want to keep it somewhere outside the class path, then you can use file system XML application context. There are different way to read this file and load this file to application context factory. I will tell you all that maybe in coming session when I was or maybe after taking the annotation or before taking the annotation session, right? So see, this is how I'm getting this application context. Now in line of 14, you can see this is how we are getting the application context object. After getting this application context, what I did application context dot get bin. I'm passing some, account service, some random name. No, it's not some random name. If you see this account service is a bin in the application context dot XML. See, I am searching it. See, this is line number 22. If you see line number 22, this is the account service, right? This is the account service. This ID I have taken, and what I did, I have added this ID in that particular get bin, in that particular get bin, right? I added this in get, this particular get bin account service, and then what I am doing here, account service dot get account. See, this get account method is not doing anything to show you how the injection is happening. I created this. See how this injection is happening in get account. What I am doing, account service dot get account. I'm just printing this current account and saving the account, correct? But I have not used any new current account equal to new current account. I have not used, right? I have nowhere used. Just you see, even if you see in the main method also, I'm not using that. What I'm using, I'm getting the bin and just calling get account. Let me run it. See, this is the object I got from that particular place, right? If I put, if I put here some message, you'll able to understand. Saving account, right? This is current account, right? See, now if I run, it will print current and saving account the object. That means Spring is internally creating this object. When it is giving us this object account service object. When I'm invoking get win account service, it is giving me the account service object, and along with that, it is also injecting this current account and saving account to that particular place, right? This is that is how it, right? So let me now explain, now show you this SOP things which I added by running this. I was just checking the XML file, is do I missed anything? See, saving current account and saving account, then it is giving the value, right? In one it is space is there, in the other it is not this space. No space is there. So you can add always this space. See what I will do now. I'll just I try to create some error here. Right? I'll just make it current account ID 1. Right? This current account I'm making the ID 1, but here I'm given current account, right? Current account. See, now what happens? See, it is showing here no being named current account available. No being named current account available, right? If you see here, now when I run it, it is saying error in creating account service. Really? Error in creating bean with account service, define class path resource, application context XML, cannot resolve reference to bean, create a current account. Cannot cannot resolve to reference to the bean current account while setting property current account. Got it? The error creating with bean name account service. Right? No bean name current account available. Right? So what happened now? Now go to application context XML. Just put current account 1. Right? Now what will happen? The error while creating same thing it is given, right? While setting bin property current account 1. See, while setting bin property current account 1. Why? The reason behind that I said it should be made, this name should match with the variable name which you have defined in your class. Otherwise, it will throw you the error. So here, even if I change it to current account 1, it won't work. So I have to keep it current account and then I have to keep it current account. Right? So this name is referring to the variable and this reference is referring to the current account class, the object. Now if I run, it will work. Okay, it worked. Now what I will do, I will just add one more class in front of you, and show how it works, right? How it goes. Now this is what I have done here in account service. I have few methods, right? I have few methods, that is deposit, withdrawal, check, balance, and get account, right? What will happen? This service layer will call the data access object layer method or data access layer class to execute all the operation, which I have not created here, which I have not configured here. For that, I have just created, before this starting this session, I have just created an account DO service class. You know, this account DO service class is here. If you see, this is account DO service, and in here you have transfer, check, balance, withdrawal. You can have all the methods. One more method is there, right? Let us get that method also here. What is the other method? Transfer, check, balance, withdrawal, and deposit. These are the basic operation which a account in an account is performed, right? See, these methods are added here. Now, here this particular class should be called from the account service DAO, right? Without creating a new object through dependency injection. How you will do it? How you will do it, right? So what I will do here, whatever I am calling, I'm printing in from in SOP, I will just remove it. Right? What I will do, I will create an object here. See, this is how IOC is done. This is how dependency injection is implemented. I am showing for one object creation, one injection, dependency injection. Three private, right? I will create account, DO, sorry, account, what is that? Account service DO. Account service DO, account service DO equal to nothing. That's all. The variable declaration is done in account service class. Right? Now I will go here down. I will generate this aggregator for this particular, bin or particular variable, because this is going to be a bin in application context XML. The setter got getter got generated. See here, line number 57 to 65. Now account service due. I will take this class and I will now inject it. You know how I'm going to do it. See it here. In this particular, I will create a new bin and I will have that ID equal to same. You know, it's not required of this ID to be same. This I can have a different ID, but while injecting that, a name should match. Otherwise, it will have. I'll show you that also. This ID can be different, but your name should match. This class don't have any injection, so I can end it like this and copy the account service class here. Because this the class is same. At the end, we have DAO. So com dot string dot example dot service dot account service DAO. You know, this is how it is done. Now this account service DAO has a dependency here, property, right? Property name equal to, this is the variable name, right? This should be the same as the variable name. Let's go to this class account service. You know, this should be same as this variable name. You copy it and paste it here. This name, it should be same as variable name, otherwise it will not say. And this reference, right? This reference should be, this reference should be, this reference should go to this reference. You know, this ID. Let's say this ID, I will make it like DA. So here also I can make DA. It won't matter. Right? I will show you now how it runs. How it runs, but I need to call on method for that, right? To show you, so you have to implement. So this transfer method I will implement, right? I will have your account service DAO dot get, or what is the transfer dot transfer. I'll call this and I will pass this. See what I'm doing. I'm calling now account service DAO. See, all the methods have SOP, right? I removed this SOP, and what I did, I'm calling account service transfer, account service DAO dot transfer. Now this system dot out dot will get printed in this DAO layer. You know, money transferred from this account to this account. Let me call. You know, let me show you that by calling or by giving a call to that. Now what will happen? Here we will do account. What happened? I did not find this. Here we'll have that account service. Then dot transfer. Right? I will call transfer. I'll copy this from account to account I've created below to show you. Let me copy this and paste it. That is called the AOP. But I can use it here. So this is what I have done. This is first is, you know, first is from account, then is to account, and then it is the amount. This is how it. Now if I run it, what will happen? I have nowhere created new account service DO, but still it will go to the account service DO and it will print the output. See, something is happening wrong. Some class path resource submission is invalid. Line number 26 is invalid. It is saying that means something. Line number 26 is invalid. Yeah. See, in line number 25, I have two less than symbols. So let me delete one. Let me run it now. See, okay. So what I will do, I'll just comment out this AOP part. It is showing us so many things, right? So let me comment out this AOP part when I will tell you that will confirm maybe after this execution. It is showing so many things, right? See, now if I run, you will not see so many, output. Just what we want, we'll get it. Yeah. So see, 1 lakh transferred from this account to this account. See, it is showing 294 to 294. Why? From account to account. See, yesterday I have explained something in my previous design pattern session, singleton and factory, right? So in application context.xml, if you are not defining with the scope or if you are not mentioning anything in the scope, by default it will be singleton. So what happens here, I will show you. If I go to account service app.java, what is happening? I think so. So there is something that is but getting trouble. See, for my account, what I am doing from account, I am creating an object of saving account, right? I am creating both the object of saving account. So in from account, first one, line number 21, if this from account, line number 21, if you see this this particular place, right? 21 from account, it is giving me the front account object, and I am doing the set account number 43. Okay. Again, what happened in line number 24? I am again doing getting two account object, but I am again doing save account. Same that ID I am passing, I am getting the object, I am setting 43. Now, what happens here from account and to account, right? It is showing 44 and 43. The reason behind that, now whatever the object I got it in the reference of this object I got through this for 24 get win. The same object I got through 20 to get win. So both the from account and to account are referencing to the same object. The reference value of from account to account is referring to the same, and at the end in line number 25, whatever I'm setting to the account number, it is getting set for both from account and to account, because both are referring to the same because of singleton design pattern, right? Because of singleton design pattern, both of them are referring to the same reference. Now let me go back to the application context XML. What I will do it here, I will change the scope. I'll change the pattern SCOP. You can write scope. Here you can have always prototype, right? And then if you run it now, you will see the difference. You will see 43 and 44. See, transferred from 43 account to 44 account, right? So this is, how you can manage design pattern with only single keyword, scope, prototype, scope, singleton, or singleton true, false, right? Some few keywords, if you know to configure this XML, you'll be able to handle patterns very easily with, by using the configuration, not by writing lots of code. In this way, it reduces your boilerplate code. Now, if you see this guy is printing 1 lakh transfer from this account to this account. If I go to account service, see, no, here I have written, but no, here I have written new. But I got the object and it called the transfer object method. And when it is calling using account service DO to transfer, it basically went to the transfer DO, and there you have this SOP. It printed that SOP. This is your basic or simple concept of IOC or dependency injection, right? You can do for everything. See, this account DO service, you can remove here this SOP, and always it can be, .do. What is that? Check balance. Always can do check balance. Similarly here, this can be deleted, and here account service.do withdraw. So all the methods, all the SOPs I have removed, and I'm delegating it to the DAO using dependency injections, right? If you if you see using dependency injections, I'm delegating it to the DAO class. Now this is how it is. This is how IOC or dependency injection is so simple, right? Nowhere new operator. Now, if you want to place another class let's say you want to use some other class in place of saving account, you can just inherit that class in saving account and then you can inject it, right? That's how it is. This is, yeah, this is done. This is how it works. I will show you. See now this account service DAO. I'll copy this class and I will rename it. Okay, I will copy this class. Uh, I'll create one more class and I will show you how it works just with a reference change. I will just make it account DO. Account SCRV DAO. Right? I'll not write full. I'll put the same content here. Right? I'll put the same content here. We'll put the same content here. Now, only I will just, we are calling the transfer method, right? Only in transfer method, I will just add something else. This dot get class name. This dot get class dot get name, right? So it will show this class name. It is calling to this class, and for this also I will print. I will add it to the this account service DAO for the transfer method. Now, if I run it, what will happen? Just see it, and then I will explain the next part. See, it is showing account service DO, the fully qualified node the class, right? Now, I will not change any code anywhere. I'll go to the application context XML, right? And what I will do, I will add one bin here, new bin for that new class, right? I'll add a new bin for new class, account SCRV, right? Account SCRV DAO, account SCRV DAO, here SCRV CRV. This is what I added, right? So here this is account HCRV DAO class. Now what I will do, I will inject this to this account service, right? What will happen? Oh, control F. This property, line number 25, you see account service DO. I'm just injecting this property, right? Now I injected this property. Now what will happen? Since I have not used interface way of implementation, what will happen? Let's see. A class cast exception or cannot convert account service DO to required type. Like account service DO to a required type. If you let me maximize this console, if you see if you cannot convert the property account service DO to the required type, it is saying, right? If you go till the end, it is saying no matching editor conversion found, no matching, right? Account service account service right? So it is not account service it is account serve DO, right? This is account serve DO. So for that, what you can do, see how actually it is done. As I said, you can always configure it during runtime and you can use it. So how you will configure during runtime if you don't have an interface? Always go with a interface way of implementation. So here, let's say this is I account service DO interface, right? And let's copy all these methods and so that the signature will be same method signature, right? And delete the definition, right? So it got deleted, right? So this is your I account service DO. Now what will happen? This I account service, just you need to go to account service and here the declaration type of variable just change to I account service. Now just change to it to I account service DO. In line number 11 you see account service DO. Now, what else you need to do? What else you need to do? When you change this, when you change this interface, class variable type to interface variable type, you also need to take care in your setter and getter. Your return type and your input parameter in setter and getter should also refer to interface type, basically super type. Now you need to go to this particular account service DAO and implement that, right? And implement that interface. Account service DO, and also go to the your serve DO here, right? Inside this serve DO we implemented account service DO. In account service DO we need to add it now. Right? This is how you added it here, right? Now if I run it, see what will happen. See, we got now account serve DO class, right? Account serve DO class without any code change because of dynamic polymorphism and dependency injection or IOC. Now I will go to the application context.xml. Again, what I will do, I will just add here this account service DO class. I will take the ID from the line number 28 and I will go to line number 25. I will add the reference as account service DA, right? That ID of account service DAO class. Now if I run, what will happen? See, you got the object of DAO class. This is how you can change during runtime. You can switch from one class to the other class if you have interface way of implementation. Right? So this is your called what? This is your called IOC and dependency injection. The principle of IOC and dependency injection design pattern was implemented by Spring Framework. You do not require to write your own code. You just configure it. It will start working. So here today I'm showing you with XML file. Tomorrow I will show you without XML file, just with annotation, or maybe the next session, right? Whenever it is. So no, so whenever I say tomorrow, you should understand it is the next session. Now one more concept we have here to I have here to explain you about this thing. That is aspect oriented programming, AOP. What is aspect oriented programming? Customer will go to that. And aspect oriented programming basically what it says you need not require to write the boiler piece of code each and every time. You just need to configure it so that a particular action, let's say before calling a method, I want to perform a particular action, or after calling a method, I want to perform a particular action. Let's say if you have seen my videos till today, all the videos, when I am doing save operation in the Spring, save operation in the Hibernate, basically what I have done, begin transaction and then commit, right? In the beginning of the method, we create begin transaction. At the end of the method, we commit the transaction. In case of JDBC also did the same thing, right? So what happened? That is kind of in every insert, every update method we need to do that. Basically insert and commit. So using AOP, you can put this aspect into another class. You can write it these all things into another class, and when you execute that particular when basically that insert or update method will be called, it will invoke first that class method, create the transaction for you, and then the operation will happen. After that, again it will commit the transaction and close the session for you at the end of the method. So see, so what will happen in this way? In this way, you will remove all the boilerplate of code from your program or from your code base using aspect-oriented programming. So when you talk about aspect-oriented, it has lots of feature. I will show you only whatever I have done today to show how to put a log before calling the method and after calling the method. This is a very general example everyone tells. Before calling the method, how you can write a log, and after calling a method, how you can write a log without any interference or without uh, having that logging code in that particular class. See, here, what is saying, aspect-oriented programming is a programming paradigm that complements object-oriented programming by allowing the separation of cross-cutting concerns, which are behaviors that affect multiple parts of a program and can lead to code duplication or timing. That's what is that. That's what I said, right? Repetitively writing the code. No, the in AOP, the particular terminology cross-cutting concerns, separation of cross-cutting concerns. The repeatedly used code at the beginning of the method or at the end of the method, or maybe that's where we need to take care. So the key concept of your AOP is cross-cutting concerns, aspects, join points, advice, point cut. See what is cross-cutting behaviors that affect multiple parts of a program, such as logging, security, or transaction management. I have given the example of in just some time back, in a few minutes before, I was talking about or I was telling about the begin transaction and commit, right? That is for the transaction. In starting of the insert method or save method, you have to begin the transaction. At the end of the save method or update method, you have to commit and close the transaction or session, right? Aspect reusable modules that encapsulate cross-cutting concerns. The reusable modules where you want to encapsulate these cross-cutting concerns are called aspects. These are the terminology which you need to remember for implementing or to understand the concept of aspects. What is called aspect? The reusable modules that encapsulate the cross-cutting concerns. Wherever you implement these things, that is called your aspect. The cross-cutting or the boiler protocol, that is called cross. That is called aspects. Join point. Specific points in program execution where advice can be applied. Wherever you apply this advice, okay, do this, right? So that is the that is called the join point. Specific points in the program execution where the advice can be applied. Advice code that executed to join point, such as before, after, around execution of a method. Advice is basically the code, the code which we need to execute during the uh, during the before the method or after the method. It's called the advice. So point code is expression that define the location in the program where advice will be applied. Point code is basically what, where you need to apply this advice. It will define that. Weaving the process of integrating aspects into the program's code. Weaving is basically the process you implement this aspect to the this thing, your program. See, doing this, as I explained earlier, your bin XML should support that, right? To support that bin XML, you have to add the XSD, the schema definition, and the URL of the uh, AOP to your bins tag, and then you need to define your aspect or the aspect J. That is the aspect where you're going to apply it, not this one. This one. I've taken the to check my logging aspect. Right? Let me edit this. Yeah. So this is how your you know this is how your expression will look. See what I have done. I have written this account service. Whenever you get into account service or whenever you come out of account service, it should log something. Right? I'll show you first and then I'll go there. I am commenting out this transfer method. We are not calling anymore this transfer method, right? Now, if you see, only get account method is called here, right? Where is that get account service? We're getting this. Yes, only this get account method is called. Let me take to this to the top. This is only to check IOC implementation. I have called it, right? So you see in line number 21, this get account method is called, right? Get account method is called, and let me run it. What it what it is going to do, just see. Here you see logging aspect after advice of all method get account, logging aspect after advice transfer methods, right? You can see this, right? These are the logging aspects coming from this particular, from where? See, if you see get account methods, let me go to account service get account method. In account service get account method, so see, I have only got about two SOPs, and after that, it is written back to the app.java or main class or main method, right? Nowhere I have written this logging aspects. From where it is coming? So whenever you call get account at the beginning of this, this method will be called, and it will show you the output. So let me go to the logging aspects. See, I'll just have now one method for you to explain you, and then later we'll uncomment this guy. See, if you see public void after advice for all methods, right? That join point. And then what it is there, I'm printing this after advice method, join point, signature, get name. So join point, signature or get name will tell us in which particular method it is, or in which particular method it is called, right? In which particular method it is called, it's get account, so it is calling in get account method, that it will show you, right? So this is a logging aspect class, and this logging aspect class I'm defining the advice, right? I'm defining the advice what I need to do, and then I'm defining the join point. Just now I explained, right, what is join point. Join point is basically what? Specific points in the program execution where advice can be applied, right? And advice is a code that is executed at a join point, such as before, after, around the execution of a method. So I'm executing it before, right? So let me go to then this all will be configured in aspect regional modules that encapsulates cost cutting concern. So now let's go to the application context XML. If you go to application context XML, if you see here the AOP configuration, AOP aspect. What is that aspect? Reference is logging aspect. So logging aspect is same again. You have to initialize it. Bin ID and class. The same way you have to create an object of that logging aspect class, right? Just now which I have shown you using, and the ID is logging aspect. So in aspect, what I'm doing, I'm passing the reference is logging aspect. Logging aspect is the aspect class, right? In that I have the advice and join point. And here in aspect, what I have to do, I have to define the point cut. What I'm saying in point cut ID is log for all methods, right? Point cut ID is log for all methods. And what I'm doing in this all methods, execution, where it has to execute, I'm saying expression star com dot string dot example dot service dot star dot start dot star dot dot. That means whatever methods or whatever classes are available in service, right? Whatever classes are available in service, you execute all these classes, or before for all method, you execute all these classes for all method, right? With all the classes those are available in this particular thing. And if you go to the AOP documentation, you will come to know this star, where you have to use star, and where have to use dot, where have to use to dot dot, and how you can use this wildcard in aspect, documentation will find the detail about it. You can go through it. Now, once you have configured this, right? Once you have configured this, then you need to write AOP after or before what you want to do, right? So see, it is written log AOP after method. This is after advice for all methods, log for all methods. After the execution of all method, it will execute. Now the next one is method after advice for transfer method and log all for transfer. This is actually I was trying to execute only for one method. So there is some wildcard issue because of which it is executing for everything. Anyway, leave that now. I will show you this particular this thing. Now you have understood this. Let me run it. So after advice for transfer method will not come. Let me run it. It might throw error because I have not commented the one part of thing in the law application context XML. It has thrown the error. So I have to comment this also. This log, yeah, this after advice, this one I have to comment. Because this aspect method I have already commented, right? So that's why I have to comment this. Let me comment out this guy, this after thing, and comment out this guy. We'll make that before method and I will show you, right? Let me run it fast and make the application okay working. I've commented because I will show you the see now only you are getting after advice for all method for get account, right? Now what we will do, we will try to get before. See the get account is printing these two and then it is showing this, right? What we will do, we'll go to that logging aspect, right? So what is the method I've commented out? I will uncomment that method, right? We will this it is after we'll make it before advice, right? One is after, we'll make one before advice. I've just changed this method before advice. So before advice for methods, right? Let's go to the application context XML, right? So we need to configure this as well in application context XML. So let me uncomment that thing there. So line number 68, if you're watching, I'm going to make it before. I'm going to make before, right? Before, and I'm going to add before advice method, right? In see this is now this will not create an issue this log for all transfer. Either you can keep that variable, but it is not this is not matching with the name. So what we will call log for all before. And the transfer will call before, and this point cut reference should go to this guy, right? Line number point cut reference in line number 68 should match with point cut ID in line number 64. So let me run it. See, now the logging is also coming before, right? So the message is after. That's why it is showing after. So let me go and change that. Let me change that message. Logging aspect before advice. Before advice. Before advice for all methods. Right. Now we'll put here at the end one slash n so that it will differentiate. It will break the line. So I will run it again. You see. See, right inside get oh yo I did a mistake. That's a get account is going below that. Let me do a little bit a change here. That slash n at the end will put after get name. Slash n is escape sequence. The people those who are really done lots of coding in Java, they will know what is this escape sequence, right? For a new line. Yeah, so you got it now. Now you see, Now I will enable this account service transfer. I will I will upon this method now. Now see how many log outputs you will get. See how many you got it. I'll just maximize. Oh, I will to maximize the concept. Hold on. See what happened? We for get account before we got logging aspect before, and then we got the object printed. Then we got logging after the logging after advice, right? Then for transfer method, what we got before advice, right? For transfer method before advice. This is in which class? This is inside the account service. Then in account DO service before advice. Then we got it here in account DO output. Then after that in DO service. Then in account service, right? So this is you can see this is how it is automatically logging, right? I have not written any piece of code to log these values inside account service DO or inside you know inside account service DO, right? So I want to do something else here. No, now 1 second, hold on. I'll just put get class dot get name and I'll save it. Let me run it. It should print the fully qualified name. Which class name it is printing, just I will see it, right? Okay, it is printing the method signature IMP. No, it's not printing the fully qualified name. There is a method, there are so many methods which can be used. Get name is going to return as a string. It will give you string class. Hold on. We'll see. Then I want to find what this get this will give. Get this, what this get this is giving. Let's see. No, there are so many methods. Anyway, you can always identify. There is something called get package name also. There are so many methods which you can configure. You can write it. This is just a sample to show how AOP works, right? And I will open this all the other methods to check to show you how it works. Yeah. So now if you see, it is saying first before advice account service bring this account service, right? Then this is saying before advice JDK proxy 2 proxy 4. This is basically for account service DAO, and if you see, then it is printing this method message and it is showing the next one. So if you do the same thing for same kind of information output for this, you can see why I'm doing all this information output for all that, because to make you more understand it actually what it actually does. I'll take this join part, content this get name. I'll put it here in this place, right? In the before in after also. I've run it. See, the first one is get account, right? This current account, saving account information is coming from get account. You see, it is account service, then printed this, and then after advice for all methods, the account service ends here. This is the get account call, it ends here. And this call is going to basically, what? This call is going to basically transfer, right? Transfer of money. So if you see logging aspect before advice for all method, right? And then com.spring.example service account service IMPL account service, sorry, not IMPL, account service class. And the next one is logging aspect before advice again, because from account service it went to account service DAO, right? There it is showing this some proxy class name, right? And then it printed the what I am printing there, right? 1,000 transferred from this to this account, right? Not 1,000. What is 1 lakh transferred from account this to this, right? Then again, the end of the DO service class, after advice, that is same proxy for proxy for. Then the end of the account service class, right? So this is how it is. This is how your AOP. Now what I will do, I will enable all the calls, right? The call, all the call for all other for check balance, for deposit, for withdrawal. If now I run, see how it works. See, for everything, it is printing before and after, before and after, before and after, right? So that means in each every, if you have gone through one of my uh, previous session where I'm showing you log4j and I'm printing a message inside the method, exit the method, right? So that line can be removed from this for that particular flow using aspect oriented programming language, or using aspect we can have before logger and after logger, right? Before executing the functionality of method, it will print the logger. After completing the functionality of after completing the functionality while executing, so not executing, exiting the method, it will print the logger. That this is what that example for transaction, for many other thing also you can do the same thing. This is how you this is how you use your XML type of configuration for IOC and aspect oriented programming, right? This is what I just gave you few example how you can use Spring XML and beans to configure your your objects and your aspect oriented. If you have a scheduler, if you have a batch class, you can also configure them inside the bins, and you can, make your life easier, and also make your code base readable, reusable, and configurable, right? So this is how this example, and today I think I will end this session here after explaining this IOC and AOP. If you want to learn more concept about Spring Framework like batch scheduling, messaging, web services, REST API, you can always comment me, message me, or mail me, or you can call me somewhere. As in some of the classes I have shown you my phone number. You can always call me. I will help you out how to do it, how to, go ahead with this. This is how it is your, this is how it is. This is how your Spring framework. So easy, right? It's very simple. So this is the information, this is the information which you can use to call me, message me, or mail me, right? And what I will do, this Git link, whatever you are looking, this is for Java basics. I will today push the code to the Git. You can take it from there, and you can see this code, and you can experiment yourself, right? This is what I will do after this session, and this GitHub link will be published in the description of the video. We'll end our session here. Thank you, everyone.